And welcome to episode 3 of Imperfect Harmony.
What's up, guys?
Don't mind my voice. I'm not sick. I just animated recently.
What's up, guys? It's Jan and Mike, and this is Imperfect Harmony.
Here we are. So we're not
I feel like we need to
we need to prep y'all a little bit. We're struggling right now.
Mom and Dad went out
We're like
last night.
23-year-olds struggling right now. We went out last night. We had some friends in town, and
we can say the friends.
So
not to like name drop and be like that person, but like I feel like it's like you have to tell the story.
Which means we're about to name drop.
Yeah, we're about to drop it. Like it's
so through some projects that we've been working on, we've befriended Bob Saget and
Danny Tanner,
aka Danny Tanner, and his wife Kelly Rizzo. We've gotten along great with both of them, done different projects with both of them, and so they were in town in Nashville yesterday, and so we went to dinner with them, and then two other friends of ours, Kristen and Preston Brust, and Preston plays in Low Cash, and the six of us went out to a sushi spot down here in downtown Nashville.
And first of all, let me just preface this because it's like, whenever I make dinner reservations, and my girlfriends can attest to this, I'm the early bird special. I'm making that reservation when the restaurant opens up.
Yeah, if it opens at 5:30,
like, oh yeah, 5.
5 o'clock is our reservation.
5 o'clock would be nice, but I usually am like, okay, I'll meet you in the middle. Let's do 5:30. So usually it's like a 5:30 reservation. Even when him and I like go to Vegas, we will be in the restaurant. The only people in like this, hip restaurant. The hip restaurant, and we're like, we are the old people in this restaurant. So anyways, when they said 7:15, I was like, oh, like that's so late because I go to bed at like 9 o'clock. So continue.
We're usually in bed by 8.
Yep.
8:30. So yeah, so we go to dinner, having a great time, and we end up like closing down the restaurant. Like we were there until we were like the last paying patrons there, and everyone else that was there like worked there.
Yeah.
So we closed the restaurant down. They're staying across the street at the hotel, and they're like, "We'll come over for the rooftop bars, have some more drinks." So I just kind of defer to the wife, as most men smartly should. And I think Bob pretty much answered for her because I came in the bathroom. Bob was like, "Hey, she said we're going, let's do it." And I was like, "Okay."
But also, we're also trying to get me to do a shot. I've never done a shot in my entire life, ever. Taken a shot of anything.
We had an Irish car bomb at the restaurant.
Yeah, and they're doing like Irish car bombs. And I'm like, nothing
sushi and Irish car bombs.
At all about doing an Irish car bomb. Like, what's that sound? Sounds like a vacuum cleaner.
No, it's just the equipment.
Oh, okay. But literally, an Irish car bomb sounds disgusting to me. So they're like, we're going to get you to do it. And I'm like, no, like, I'm really good. Like, I'm nursing my wine over here. Like, I'm good. So
because it's not really it's not even like a shot. It's a car bomb. It's a lot.
Anyhow. So then we go across the street to the Thompson Hotel or something like that. Yeah. We're at the rooftop, and I'm literally, you know how like you're not trying to be rude, but you have to yawn, so you're like you're trying to like fake the yawn, and that was where I was at last night. And then something I've never in my life heard, we're leaving the bar, and I hear last call.
And Jan's like, why are they yelling that?
Yeah, I was
why are all the bartenders saying last call?
He's like, that's what happens when you have to have like the last call, like the last drink. And I was just like, what? I've never in my life, and here we are, like mom and heart out here.
Yeah, so we didn't get home until 12:30 last night, and then 5 hours later, the kids woke up. So, and we worked all day. It's been a long one.
It has.
But here we are, ready to party.
Which, by the way, someone that we got to be on Andrew East and Sean Johnson's podcast today, and there's someone that we're going to have on the show too. So we talked about them coming on our show. So we're excited for you guys to hopefully see that episode coming very soon because they are lovely people.
Amazing.
They've got a great marriage. They're very open about their marriage and their struggles and their relationship. And Sean's about to have a baby. So hopefully once the baby pops out, we'll be able to have them on the show because they're a great couple and we're going to be doing a lot of work with them coming up soon. So
yeah. So tonight's episode, what we're going to talk about is very interesting. So we're going to talk about a lot of self-doubt, insecurities, and how we manage those in our relationship, how we manage them and deal with them personally. But first, let's do a poll, because insecurities are one of those things where even at times with Jan and I, who've been together almost 5 years, yeah, I know, wow. Look at us.
That's the longest I've ever been with someone, 5 years. Yeah. We made it, kid.
It's still a little difficult at times, I think, to open up to Jana or to a partner and express a vulnerable insecurity. So I want to take a poll and have you all been open about any insecurities to your partner? Have you admitted insecurities? Have you acknowledged them? Have you embraced them? Whatever it is, have you communicated them to your partner? Yes or no? So that's going to be our poll right now, and we'll come back to it later. So, Jana and I read something kind of coming into this tonight called Imposter syndrome. And when we talked about it earlier, I thought maybe it was just like people trying to be like everyone else, especially because nowadays with social media, trying to compare your life, compare what you've achieved and so on and so forth. But imposter syndrome, actually, I screenshotted it just so I could.
You trying on my phone?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting. So imposter.
See, when I hear imposter syndrome, I'm thinking that it's about you're trying to be somebody else. Is that what it is?
No. So actually, imposter syndrome can be defined as a collection of feelings of inadequacy that persist despite evident success. Imposters suffer from chronic self-doubt and a sense of intellectual fraudulence that override any feelings of success or external proof of their competence.
Okay, went way over my head. So what do you mean? So
basically, and I look at Jana, I'm like, we both do this. Absolutely.
Well, what is it though? Because I guess I'm confused.
So it's basically like you were.
Give me an example.
You were saying today when we did Andrew and Sean's podcast and stuff. You were like, I don't consider myself a professional singer. She literally said, I don't consider myself a professional singer.
Well, I'm not on a label.
Platinum records up on our wall upstairs. Platinum selling, that's 1 million copies of a record. And she doesn't consider herself a professional singer. So that's basically what it is. It's downplaying. There's a difference between being humble and, from my understanding, and basically kind of having imposter syndrome. And we definitely flirt that line. Mm-hmm. And we come from a good place with it because we want to be humble. We don't want to boast about things that we've been fortunate enough to succeed in. But still, it's like at one point, and it's funny because we do it to each other, where I'll feel inadequate about my success in the NFL. And Jana will talk me up. Oh, you were a walk-on, you were this, you were that, you still played 5 years, and try to build me up.
Yeah.
And she'll say the same about her career, and I'll do it right back to her. I'll be like, yeah, but you're this, you're that. And so it's funny because we're both guilty of it, but we both see it in one another and we talk each other up. So it's one of those things that it's hard sometimes. It's hard sometimes to, especially in a world where you always want to, enough is never enough. I feel like everybody probably has that character defect almost, where it's just like, how many people can really sit back and say, well, I did what I could, I'm good. There are people out there that do that. But more people than not aren't.
Right. I get that. But I think like too with my situation where it's like, I also did what I did and now I'm like, okay, like I'm good too. Does that make sense?
You're satisfied with it? You've come to terms with it?
Yes. But at the same time, like just the other night, do we have the poll? Do we have the poll ready? So I'm curious to see if the poll is coming up. Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, we changed it.
Oh yeah, we changed that one. But I guess the one that we were wondering if, I don't know if we can pull that up or not, if it was, we can definitely talk about, insecurities we experience in our relationship, but also, the insecurities for kids. I think for us though, it would be like an example how maybe I didn't express insecurity with my husband or with Mike is because like just the other night I was at a party and it was just like, I'm surrounded by like the biggest country stars ever. And
everybody who was anybody
was there. And I'm just like, I felt like these big and I felt like I'm not even close to accomplish what that person has or what she has, and I just got in that headspace where I immediately just shut down, had social anxiety, didn't talk to anybody, like became really small because I'm just like, well, they're so much bigger than me. And I'm just like, why am I even here? Like, and that's like truly how I felt, because I just felt like I didn't feel like I belonged there, even though like they're all my friends and they're all so sweet and they're so nice, and I was invited and it felt nice to be there. But at the same time, I was also like, I've not accomplished nearly as much as this person or as that person, and I probably never will. So it becomes this thing where you just start to like self-doubt and start to like say really mean things to yourself, and it just doesn't become. But in our relationship, you know, I came home and I didn't say any of that, because, you know, we usually just swallow it and maybe put it into our mood somewhere else in the relationship. But you don't.
You would have told me.
Well, we weren't really talking then.
No, we had other stuff going on.
But yeah, it was just one of those things where, I mean, even like, you know, there's times, like I'm sure when you watch some of your professional football buddies play football, you're like, man, that could have, like, I played with him and he's still playing. So I think that's like a hard thing for anybody in that situation, when you've been at the top and then you've gone down.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, you know, outside of even the fields that we've made careers in, I think everybody does that, right? Mm-hmm. They look at the person that got the promotion and they didn't. They look at other people that are succeeding and they're wondering, why not me? And, you know, sometimes it's people say that and they don't put in the work to achieve that success. But, you know, it is one of those things where there's a fine line, and it's good to be ambitious. It's good to not settle, but at what point does it become unhealthy?
Oh, I mean, so unhealthy. But I think it's how long you like harp on it. So like one of the things that I've done is, especially with social media, like the amount of times I would immediately wake up and check someone's social media to see what they're doing, what campaign they've gotten, why haven't I gotten that? You know, oh my God, look how much more like seats they're selling at their tour, or followers they have. I mean, it becomes such a. And then I was getting depressed. I was physically getting depressed over either my lack there of followers or content or tours or song. And I'm just like, and I was like, this does not make me feel good. So I muted some people's stories so that I wouldn't have to like go down that rabbit hole, because it's not healthy. Like,
it's unfortunate, because social media just is all.
But I will say though, the positive side of also that is it makes me want to keep like fighting and working hard, and so that's where I think it
can be motivating, but it can also be detrimental to your psyche and to your soul if you're constantly comparing. And even before social media, I feel like people were doing that. It's just not, I don't think it was as impactful as it is now, because it's right in front of you everywhere you go.
Do you like not being on social media?
I do. I love it.
For what reason? Because sometimes I feel like you want it because you feel like almost like not left out, but like.
I feel detached more so from a news standpoint. Honestly, that's the only part I miss, is from a.
Instagram does not have news.
But I don't want to.
No news on Instagram.
I never even had Instagram.
No, but I'm talking about Instagram.
Oh, then I don't care. What would I post a picture about?
Me. Your beautiful wife.
Right, but you already do all of that. So it'd be oversaturation, and I would never post anything. And that's the thing. I wouldn't care about looking to see what people are doing. The only thing I miss out on is being able to research if we're going to interview somebody or we're going to do something with somebody, not being able to do that on my own and having to like go to your phone to do it. Yeah, sometimes we're not always together as much as we are together. A lot of times we're not. So to be able to do that kind of homework on my own is nice, because so many people put what they're doing out on there. But just social media in general, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, I love not being on. I absolutely love it. It's very cleansing for me. Again, the only thing that I feel like I miss is the news. Sometimes I feel like I don't, like an ostrich with my head in the ground on what's going on in the world. Because we don't watch a lot of TV.
I've been starting to watch Good Morning America in the morning though, because I do want to know more what's going on.
Yeah.
Not that that's like the news outlet, but just for me.
No, but just to know what's current.
I feel like it's curious. And this is, do we have a poll from the last poll that we just took? Yeah, same. Insecurities we experience it's insecurities we experience in our relationship.
What would you like us to do? Yeah. So in our relationship, so how do you want to do that? Do you want to do it like personally with each other?
Yeah, let's do that first.
So
insecurities we experience in our relationship.
I think for me, it's it goes from the same stuff, right? Like never good enough, and what I'm doing isn't enough, and especially with Jana being the one who financially is doing the bulk of the work in providing for our family financially. It's something about a man, something about just my personality that I feel insecure about at times. Not nearly as much as I did early on in our relationship, because I know a lot of the stuff we do is together and building this brand and doing this stuff. But still, I still have that inkling of like I want to be able to take care of my family, you know, and like take the stress off of you. So I feel insecure that I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like I wish you didn't feel like you had to say yes to as many opportunities as you do. I appreciate it, but I wish there's other opportunities for me to be able to supplement what you have to do so it could be more balanced. And it's purely from a place of I feel bad and I feel insecure that you have to do more work with things than I do.
Thank you for expressing that. So off of that though, that's literally what I was just about to say, Raylan. She goes, I try my best to make sure that my husband knows about my insecurities. And that's what I was just going to say is I feel like it's very important to tell your insecurities or share your insecurities with your husband, because if I don't know his insecurities and he doesn't know my insecurities, we're going to harbor these feelings and emotions and quite possibly take them out on the other person because we're feeling this negative energy about ourselves.
For sure.
So when I have insecurities, but that's one of my hardest things. I have a very hard time sharing my insecurities because I don't want to look weak. I don't want to look like I'm not good enough. I don't want to look like I'm, wallowing or anything like that, because I know that we're very fortunate for things that we're doing and have done what we have. But I do also know that when I wallow, I take it out in our relationship, and that's such an unhealthy thing to do because I'm just upset with myself, and then I'm wanting to be upset here, and then it just is like, okay, now this sucks and now everything sucks.
Misery loves company, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like when you're feeling that way about yourself, you want to bring the other person down to your level.
And I'm not saying bring you down. I'm saying bring us down.
Right.
Where I'm just I'll either pick fights or I'll be more sensitive. Where it's if maybe I just told him, hey, I feel like a piece of crap and I don't feel good enough, and this really sucks. I probably wouldn't be as emotional if something else happened.
And something that Jen and I kind of speaking of that, she did that kind of recently. I don't remember what it was, but I basically told her.
What I do?
Wrong
or right?
No, right. You expressed an insecurity. And I asked her, I said, what do you need from me right now? Do you need me to just sit with you and feel heard? Or do you want me to motivate you? Because
okay. So I had a job, that I was doing that I just really, it was one of those jobs that I've taken that I feel, I'm like, man, I used to be in that spot, and now it's kind of reverse.
Yep.
And it's a great opportunity and I'm really excited about it, but it also makes me feel, how do I say it? It also makes me feel
on the other side
where I'm not the star, which again, it's okay, but it was starting to make me feel not good about myself. And so, I did express that too. And he's like, what do you need? And I was like, honestly, I need you just to tell me that in the end game, I need some, what I need. And I think that's awesome. If you express to your partner, what Michael did to me, what do you need? Do you need me to pump you up? Do you need me just to listen? Do you need me just to be here with you or sit here with you? And I think that's super important because at that moment I knew exactly what I needed. I needed him to be pump me up.
Yeah. And
tell me just to go and do it and do a great job, get some good tape and then be done.
Yeah, which isn't always the case though. And that's why I asked, and that's why we try to ask each other, because sometimes you do just want to feel sorry for yourself. And that's okay. Sometimes you just want to be like, man, this sucks. This is upsetting. I'm sad. I wish this, I wish that, I wish it was different, whatever. But
something interesting too, and I just think a lot of you should hear, when I was at that party that I was feeling so just blue about, I was talking to someone very much famous and from Instagram seems like their life is rainbows, Skittles, butterflies, unicorns, like they are on the top of their game, so happy. And I realize that Instagram is a lie, that person is struggling, that person is having a hard time with their relationship, that person is, and I'm like, wow. Because I've been looking at that being like, oh, God, I wish I had that. And and then knowing that person is struggling just the same that I might be it's like everybody has pain in some realm of this universe, and everyone experiences it. It's just a lot of people don't really put them out. Oh, Kristen, here we go. My husband is addicted to porn and he's convinced he can't change. Advice. First of all, okay, I'll let you take this.
But no, go ahead.
No, I'm just, when he says that he's can't change, my daughter started saying, I can't. And I said, it's one of the biggest things that's driving me crazy. I was like, you can, Joel, you can. If my husband were to say, I can't stop cheating on you, you can. It's just you have to do things to help that, which then I'll lead into your thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was like your husband for the majority of my life. I mean, I can't remember a day that went by that I didn't act out sexually or watch porn or any of that. And here I am just over 18 months sober from all those behaviors. So it is possible. That's why there's a 12-step program for that. And
I mean, there is the 12-step program would be SAA, right?
Yeah, SAA.
Which is people addicted to porn. And he just needs to set up a boundary and a program. One of the things, yeah.
But it falls in that category. But the unfortunate thing is it can't be your decision, Kristen. It has to be, he has to want to stop. And if he doesn't make that decision, then...
And if you want him to stop, I'm sorry, I feel like that's just kind of like a manipulative thing to say. Like, well, I'm sorry, I can't change. And it's like, you can change. It's whether you're willing to change and whether you're willing to do the work to change.
And unfortunately, that's a situation you might be in. Or it's just like, if he's not, we'll be like, well, then this marriage can't.
I wouldn't say that. I would ask what you're willing to, like what you're able to be okay with.
It's not a threat. It's like, well, give him expectations. Be like, if you're not able to do this, this is a consequence.
Because you can't like handle it. I know a lot of women that don't mind if their partners watch porn. In other relationships, I had no problem with people watching porn at all, because it was. But now I see it in a different light, and obviously there's boundaries in our relationship. But with that, I would have a problem with that, because I just think the can't thing just really bothers me, because you can do it.
The lust of the mind does go away.
And again, there's things out there for resources and stuff. I mean, you just go to SAA and find a meeting.
Yeah.
Do we have any more shout outs, by the way, or any questions that while we're on this topic? Charles B. Gar, love that Mike asked what you need. Such a great way to meet your needs. 1,000,000%. I honestly will be totally open with you. I don't think I told you this either. I was shocked when you did ask me. Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. No, I was shocked. I was just like, what do I need? Oh, wow. I was just like, I need you to motivate me. And it was just like a very weird, like, because usually you'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry you feel that way. And I'd be like, yeah.
And then you're left in the dumps.
And then I'm just left like still like wallowing in my like misery.
In your self-pity.
In my self-pity that it's like, whatever, again, we all have it. But
right, we all have it. It's okay. But again, that's why it's important to do that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so good job, babe. I appreciate that. Anybody
else? What
about
self-doubt in yourself? Boyfriend of 6 years had an affair and I'm struggling.
Austin, what about self-doubt in yourself? Boyfriend of 6 years had an affair and I'm struggling. I think one of the main things you have to realize, and this took me, it's 2.5 years, it's not about you. That's a really tough one to learn, because for the longest time I was like, why wasn't I good enough? Why wasn't I pretty enough? Why wasn't I thin enough or big enough boobs? Or like, I'm like, why, like, why not me? And the problem is it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with themselves and what their, not to say issues, but like your...
No, it took Jana some time to get to that point to understand that it wasn't, yes, it feels personal. Obviously, the pain feels personal, but it's not when it comes to the addictive standpoint of it. But it's, it's for her to finally realize, okay, this actually has nothing to do with me. This is Mike's situation. So for you, it's your boyfriend or best friend, whoever it is, it's their issue. Unfortunately, you're collateral damage in that. And one thing, just self-doubt in general, something that I've learned kind of through my path is whether it professionally or relationship, if you just feel yourself in that, like just throwing yourself a pity party, you can't find anything to motivate you to get out of it. Something I've done in the past is like physically write a gratitude list, right? So you just get a blank piece of paper, write down, what are you grateful for in that moment? It could be that the sun's out. It could be whatever it is. And it's such a good way to redirect your mind instead of focusing on the things that are negative in that moment, to focus on those things that you do have that you can be grateful for. If whatever's going on with Jan and I, it's like, I'm so grateful for our kids. I'm so grateful for that I have a wife, that I have a roof over my head, that, we can feed our children, that, those little things that get overlooked in this day-to-day world and society to appreciate. You're like, man, like when it comes down to it, we have a roof over our head. We can feed our kids every day. Like they're safe, they're taken care of, we're healthy. Why am I worried about what I saw on Instagram? It's just one of those things just to kind of start that motor up inside you again, get those pistons going, be like, yeah, like I'm good. You know what I mean?
But just to affirm you, Austin, it is really hard. But just know time does heal all wounds, and working together as a team, if that's what you guys are both willing to do. Met y'all in Virginia. Thanks for never making me feel alone in my experiences. Of course, Sid, we're here for you. We're glad that our experiences can make you feel not less alone. Celeste, Richie, hey guys, I love you guys so much. We love you.
Thank you.
And we love that you're just as imperfect as us. Ashley, please come to NC. Would love to meet you two, have wine, and talk parent life. Girl, all about it.
That's we like would love. Favorite thing ever.
Favorite thing ever. I love talking about kids, and I love drinking wine. So yes. User, my BF tells me he's not leaving me, but I can't shake my anxiety insecurities. So here's the deal. He's not leaving me, but it's hard when you have insecurities and anxieties. It's something even harder when your partner doesn't understand that. But if he's willing to be by your side, I think the most important thing to do is to just be in the present and try to feel safe with where you're at. I don't know why you're feeling anxious or...
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say. We don't know the whole situation, but say it's just if you just have general fear of abandonment, like some people have traumas where they have fear of abandonment, and say we're making up that's your situation just to talk from a general standpoint, then that's like a perfect example of you expressing that to him and saying, even kind of just making it light so it doesn't seem like you're putting it on him, where you're just like, hey, I know this is kind of crazy. I know you've never given me a reason, but I'm just terrified of losing you. I'm terrified of us not being together, whatever it is. If you're able to say it from a place that's not accusatory, especially if he hasn't done anything, it's a way to bring, especially as a man, it's a way to bring us in to be like, oh, we can help. Because men, we always want to feel useful. We're like pickup trucks. We just want to be able to help in some way. So it's like, if you invite us into that, we'll step up and be like, okay, yeah, like I'm here for you. I can be strong.
Yeah, and I think honestly, one of the biggest things, just to kind of like full circle this, one of the biggest things to do to overcome self-doubt is to have empathy for yourself and to be vulnerable. Those are the two biggest things that I think that you guys can take away from this. If you're vulnerable with your partner and expressing your self-doubts, it's gonna make you feel better. It's gonna make you feel lighter because you're sharing your experiences, you're sharing your vulnerability. And if your partner is a person that you're with and you wanna be with, their reaction to that shouldn't be negative, right? It shouldn't be... Especially if you're coming at it from a vulnerable place, and if it is, then I would really...
Yeah, if it's condescending or humiliating, if that's their response to you when you do that, then you probably shouldn't be with them. But they should embrace that and be there for you. So that's a great point.
Yeah. Vulnerable empathy. My husband is a homebody, and I like to socialize. He gets anxiety help. So social anxiety is huge. We both have it. I think it's about, I get being a homebody.
Which
I know we are, and we both have social anxiety, but at the same time, one usually has it over the other. So I think when you do go out, not that you do, but this is something that I think Michael learned. Don't downgrade their anxiety. Don't downgrade their not wanting to go out. Just be like, yeah, I can understand, but I love that you're here with me, and just to build them up and to make them feel safe. Because I think when people have that social anxiety, it's because they don't feel safe.
Do you have any examples?
I mean, always.
I'm just curious too.
For example, even with my anxiety, going out, to know that we can leave at any time.
Oh yeah, okay.
Be like, yeah, we can go whenever you want. And I'd be like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna have so much fun. Even just the other night, and I was just like, I don't wanna be here. And Preston was like, you wanna go now? We can go now. I'll get that truck right now. And I was like, I love you. Okay, I'm good. I can hang.
That's how,
So it's just to know, just that person's that you're there for your husband. And if he wants to go, you're like, all right, baby, let's go. The fact that you even came out was awesome. But also to be like, I'm really sorry you have anxiety. What can I do to help you? So, because with you, you're not great. You weren't great with dealing with anxiety until you had your anxiety attack. So it's about being like, hey, what do you need in this moment? That sucks that you're feeling that way. Let me help you. And then usually that person with anxiety can calm down.
Yeah, and our anxiety too comes from our trauma as a couple with the infidelities and stuff like that, where I never really had social anxiety until now, because my fear is that if I'm socializing and talking, if we're not right next to each other and I'm happen to be talking to a female, but it's nothing boundary crossing or whatever, and it's somebody we know, I still have that fear that Jana is going to be question me about why I'm talking to this person or why I'm standing near a female. And so I get anxious because I've never been like that before, that she's going to get triggered, when really I'm just having a healthy conversation, and because she knows how I was at the beginning. She would bring me to things because she liked the fact that I could talk to anybody. And now I feel handcuffed by that, not because of her, but because of our past has done that to both of us. She didn't choose that. I chose that through my actions. So that's where ours comes from in that standpoint. But Jana's right though, because, I would take it personal if, say, Jana was just like, we're at a movie or something and she says, I want to leave. I don't feel comfortable. I would take it personal and take it like, well, you don't care about me because I want to be here at this movie. If you really cared about me, you would suck it up. That was my mindset early on, dealing with someone who has clinical anxiety. And so that's been a big adjustment, because no, it's not about them being selfish. It's about what they need. And for me, it was really, I'm still trying to learn on how to be empathetic in those moments.
Have you had an anxiety attacks lately?
More like a panic attack, or they're the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, I had one this past weekend, but that was just all of our stuff going on.
What happened?
I was just, all those past feelings of loss came up. Uh-huh. If you guys listen to our podcast on Monday coming up, it's a doozy.
Woof.
If any of you out there listen to Wind Down, which we hope you do, this is probably our most vulnerable and intense episode that we have recorded.
Yeah.
100%.
You had a panic attack though.
Yeah.
When?
Probably, I think it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday.
What happened?
I was sitting in the car after a meeting, and I just saw those feelings of just from everything at the beginning.
What did you feel?
This was the first time I felt fearful for my life.
Like that you were having a heart attack?
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to anxiety.
That was the first time, yeah.
So now you understand.
I felt out of control. I felt like I was going to lose everything. I felt like I just needed to go somewhere. I was like, I need to get out of here. It was weird.
Do you have a hard time breathing, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I even texted John. It was like, I'm pretty sure I'm having a panic attack right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, so yeah, that was my Monday.
Wow.
So listen to Wind Down.
User Oak MDA, your song Over You By Now. Oh, I love that song. Help me through a 6-year relationship. Much love. Dude, that song.
That's a throwback.
Could have been over you by now. I don't even remember how that goes. I just know that chorus.
What album was that?
It was the first album. Oh my gosh, I haven't listened to that song in so long. Thank you. I'm gonna listen to that now. Oh my goodness, that song was so pretty. I could have been could have been.
Speaking of great songs,
could have been over you.
Our friend Lindsay L was here earlier, and she played us the single that she's gonna drop in like November.
It's
a smash.
Smashola.
It's unbelievable.
It's so good. Hey, you guys, let's do some shout outs right now before we end the show because Lord knows. Zoe Angel, 2013. How do I get my husband on board with date night? He says it's a waste of money. No. Here's the deal, though. It doesn't have to be outside of the house. You can have a date night in the house, but if you want to go out, go ahead.
Yeah. And
escape rooms.
Oh, escape rooms are great.
And
that's the thing. Do something because it seems like
Gator girl. Thanks, girl.
Zoe, you just want to do something just to spend time with them. So something that he loves to do, just be like, hey, we're going to go do that. And for a guy, if you set up something that they love doing, we're not going to say no.
For sure.
So start it that way, get it fun, exciting.
Bring the Wind Down tour. Thanks, Jen, for popping in here. Love you. To Ohio, you guys are the best. Love you, Jen.
I'm down with that. Ohio.
Okay, so Mike, you should be a coach. You play the game and are great speaking and supporting. Jess, I totally agree. I'm telling this all the time.
Thank you, Jess. I do want to be a coach, no more than high school. That's the only level I'd want to do. But once the kids get older, I do want to coach all their sports and end up being a coach here in Nashville. I think it'd be a lot of fun, so I appreciate that.
I love y'all's home. I would love if you can come back to Florence, Alabama, Morgan. Yeah, let's do it. I'm all about it. And thanks, so you like our house, even though we're considering maybe moving. Guest, are you spiritual? And if so, how does it play a role in mending your marriage?
Yes.
We are spiritual. We just started going to church again, which has been really great for us. It's a way just to kind of come together as a family and
yeah, we're both raised Catholic. We go to a non-denominational church called Crosspoint here in the Nashville area, which has been amazing for us. And yeah, it is a way to connect on a level that's bigger than us. And it definitely helped, especially in those early days.
For sure.
Of kind of giving it up.
You guys are like therapy to me. I have 4 kids in 4 years. Love your podcast. Wow.
God bless you.
I don't have no words, but that's amazing. And you're an amazing mom.
You're probably as tired as we are right now.
So
probably just tired every single day.
Cheers.
And good for you.
Come to Columbus, Ohio. Done.
Go Buckeyes.
Go Michigan.
Actually, go Dukes. Where are my JMU people at?
Go Michigan.
People are probably like, JM what?
JM who?
JM who?
All right, guys. Well, who cooked dinner tonight?
Actually.
Kylie, our nanny.
Actually, no. I cooked dinner tonight because I usually cook it.
Kylie is coming in hot. So, yes, our sweet Kylie did home chef tonight for us, and it was so sweet because we were so tired.
Chicken was a little dry, but it's cool. I was kidding, Kylie. It was so good. It was perfect.
Never asked you to cook anything before. How dare you slide into here and ask that question?
And it got through.
It did. All right, guys.
Is that it?
On that note, love you guys. Best way to solve your problems with self-doubt is have empathy for yourself, be vulnerable to your partner, and
gratitude list.
And start your gratitude list, which is a great thing. And every morning, get off Instagram, get off Twitter, get off all of that, and just write your list of gratitude, what you have to be grateful for, and start your morning that way. And tell yourself something nice every day, because. Or you know too, if you hear your friend talking bad about you, so my friend Julie Solomon does, she'll go, I don't like it when you talk about my friend like that. So.
When what?
Like if I say something, I'm like, oh, I just feel so gross. And she's like, I don't like it that you talk about my friend like that.
That sounds like something Julie would say.
Love you guys. Stay tuned for another episode of Imperfect Harmony.
Thanks,
Love
guys.
you. Good night.